Diddy, 120 new claims apparently going against him. 25 of those are minors. The Diddy tip hotline within the first 24 hours, roughly 12,000 phone calls coming into it. And it just keeps getting darker and darker and darker. Joining me to discuss, Bob Mata, defense attorney, host of the podcast Defense Diaries. Are you surprised?
I don't want to say it, but I told you so.
I
I'm
didn't.
pretty
I
I'm
didn't
pretty
say
sure we
no.
have it recorded, dude.
Yeah.
That this thing is going to go. Like the thing that I'm waiting for are the big names to drop. Like, just the other people that were involved with these parties, man.
Yeah.
The freak outs or freak
Freak
ups
offs.
or
Yeah.
freak ons, freak offs, whatever they're called.
Freak
Uh,
out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm not surprised. This thing is going to be a huge, huge nightmare, like in a lot of different ways for a lot of different people.
Does this, uh, in my estimation, it does, but I'm curious to get your thoughts on it thus far. Does this beat Epstein in terms of its reach, the amount of people that this is going to affect? I mean, Epstein, there was a lot there that could have been affected, but wasn't,
Right.
because he's dead and because there was a lot of political people in power. I suppose Diddy could get shut down and shut up too, but there's a lot of people here too. I mean, like politicians, music, actors. There's just, I mean, it expands a lot.
Yeah, and I think that like kind of the bigger thing, the difference between Epstein and Diddy is going to be that there's going to exist video proof.
Hmm.
Like Epstein was smarter in terms of keeping his shit on lock. I don't think that you had troves of videos wherein, people of note are going to be depicted in those videos. And it's just going to be a different thing. Like I don't know if they'll be able to shut it down the way that they were able to shut Epstein down
Hmm.
by killing him.
Hmm.
And I mean him committing suicide is what I mean.
Yeah.
So like it's just a different set of circumstances, but the reach can be huge. I mean, Cat Williams has been out there in these streets for a year talking about this shit, and
Hmm.
people were saying he was crazy and blah 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 blah. Well, I guess he wasn't so crazy after all.
Well, there's another individual too in this whole case that it's the one who went into the Trump tower and did the shooting. Um, he was ranting about being part of Diddy's sex parties and being abused and enslaved, and people just thought this guy's out of his freaking mind. I mean, granted, he opened fire in a Trump hotel, or any. I mean, it's just insane to do something like that. But I don't know. It almost makes you wonder, like, was this guy so disturbed and so damaged from years of abuse and that sort of a situation that he was just so twisted that this is what he thought was the best thing to do with that shooting?
I mean, we certainly can't say that it's not because of that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no like. I mean, depending on the lengths that went and the depths. I mean, psychologically, it could have like fractured him completely.
Yeah.
I mean, we just don't know any of those facts, in terms of just like how dark this was for him, to where I mean, something went wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, a rational, normal, rational person doesn't do that. They don't just crack like that
Mhm.
and just kind of lose it and do that type of thing. I mean, typically there's a reason for it. Now that's not to say that there wasn't something pre-existing and this exacerbated it.
Sure.
I don't know, but like I mean that's definitely something that needs to be looked at,
Well, I mean,
you know.
and after shooting up a hotel, it's like it was such a bizarre thing to start claiming and start saying that you're part of Diddy's sex party. I mean, this is before all the charges came about, and it
Right.
just seemed like, well, this is the rantings of a madman.
Right.
Looking back, maybe he wasn't so mad after all in terms
Right.
of what happened to
100%.
him.
Yeah, it's not like John Hinckley with the whole who was it, Jodie Foster?
Yeah, yeah,
You remember?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that was like clearly just a guy who was insane. Like this guy was talking about things that weren't public yet,
Hmm.
that were ostensibly only known by those who knew.
Hmm.
So I mean there's some credence there that's to kind of be a person who has knowledge of things that you shouldn't know about or couldn't know about unless you were involved in some way has weight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, dude, this thing is going the depths. Like, I think we're just scratching the surface. I think this
Oh
is
yeah.
like the proverbial tip of the iceberg where we're just seeing the tip of it, and
Hmm.
underneath there's just a massive, massive nightmare waiting for a lot of people.
Yeah, I
Like, I
mean,
mean,
it feels like it's just an ice cube sticking out of the water right now, and but there's so
exactly.
much more to it. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us wherever you download podcasts, and especially Apple Podcasts, where you can get advanced episode and premium content on our premium channel right there. Also, be sure to follow us on social media so you don't miss any breaking updates on the stories that matter to you most. We're on TikTok, X, Instagram, Facebook. Just search Hidden Killers Podcast with Tony Bruschi, and you'll find us right there. Again, thanks for watching.